Hello everyone, welcome to my review of set number 75396, Desert Skiff in Sarlacc Pit. As many of you guys know, this set is retiring at the end of 2025, and currently you can get it on sale at Target for about $71. And today we're going to be going over if you should pick it up before it retires, especially for that sale price. Starting us off, this set is rated for ages 9 and up. It has 558 pieces, 6 minifigures, and a retail price of $80. Say what you will about the price tag, but this is objectively a very good set. Taking a closer look at the box, you can see it uses that beautiful 25th anniversary box art. It looks gorgeous. Moving down the box, you can see your 25 years of LEGO Star Wars badge right next to your exclusive 9-nub minifigure in the set. Although we remembered what happened last time LEGO said something was exclusive, so just take it with a grain of salt. This set comes with 5 minifigs, not including Nub, with Boba Fett, Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Chewbacca, and Lando Calrissian. But more on them in a second. Moving over to the side of the box, it uses that same 25th anniversary box art, which I think looks really good, has the same badge, and it shows another picture of your Nub figure. And then on the top of the box, you can see it uses the same style of art with a bunch of warnings. And then at the bottom, it shows your Boba Fett figure that you're going to be getting in the set. Now, lastly, moving to the back of the box, I think it has some really good looking box art showing Tatooine and all the sand dunes in the background with the Sarlacc pit below. It just adds a lot of detail, and I really miss when they did this with boxes. And then on each corner of the box, it shows some of your play features that you get in the set, like the plank, and it shows your skiff and Sarlacc pit. And then on the top right, it shows some play features of the actual Sarlacc pit. Also, I would highly recommend not using the thumb tabs like I did on my box because it really ruins it and it makes it look really bad. Opening up the box, you get 2 instruction sheets, which is actually really nice because 1 is for your Sarlacc pit and number 2 is for the Desert Skiff. And it's really nice that LEGO gave you the option to break up the build. Moving over to our minifigures in the set, the first fig we have is Luke Skywalker. He is wearing his Jedi robes from episode 6, and I think it looks really good. And this just might be me, and it might be a little bit of nostalgia bias, but I personally like the old hairpiece that they used for him, even though this one might be a lot more accurate. So starting at the top of the fig, he does use that new hairpiece that we were just talking about, which I think doesn't look bad by any means. I just prefer the old one. Then he has the same print on his face that he's really had for years now. And then moving down, he's very detailed torso with some nice printed legs. On the side of the fig, there's nothing special. No side leg printing and no arm printing. And on the back of the figure, you can see more of that hairpiece, which I think looks better from the back. And then moving down, he still uses the robes with some nice back printing. He also does have an alternate face with a more kind of serious look. Moving over to our Chewbacca figure in this set, this is a very good figure. LEGO has nailed this guy for years now. He has some very nice detailing on his face, especially with those pupils, which if they removed his pupils, I think would ruin the fig. Nothing too special on the side of him either. No prints or anything, just that continued head mold, which goes all the way around. Coming over to the back of the fig, you can see that nice bandolier that goes back, which is a really nice detail that they add. But yeah, really nothing special with this guy, just a normal Chewbacca figure, and I think they've nailed him perfectly. Then, to go with our Chewbacca, we have a Han Solo. This is a newer style Han Solo, and unlike the Luke, I think the hairpiece looks amazing. I think it's a very good detail that he really needed on him. As you can see, he has a nice white shirt. It's open and buttoned just like in the movie, and it looks really good. Unfortunately, no leg printing though. And then same as most of the other figs, nothing special about the side on this guy. He has no arm printing and no side leg printing. And then on the back of him, you can see the back of the nice hairpiece, and you can see he has some folds in his shirt, but really nothing special at all. And then this guy also does have a double-sided face like most of the other ones, showing him closing his eyes when Luke's about to fall into the pit. The next fig that we have in the set is Lando Calrissian, and this is him in his guard outfit. And this figure really needed to be updated, and I'm really glad they did because this one looks amazing. Starting at his helmet, you can see it has really nice printing on it with that mold, which is amazing. And then moving down, you can see that he has a nice chest piece, which really isn't much different than the ones that we've gotten in the past, except this one has some really nice leg printing, which I think really brings this fig to life, and it makes it look amazing. Then taking his helmet off, you can see that he does have a face underneath, which is just his normal Lando face. Moving on to the side of the fig, nothing special again, no leg printing and no arm printing. Then on the back of him, you can see his alternate face that he has, more of a kind of scared look. And then he has some nice printing going all the way around his torso, and I think it looks great. Moving over to one of the best figures in the set, this guy was almost perfect with Boba Fett. Now, this guy is missing a few things that would have made him a 10 out of 10 figure, unfortunately, but he is still a great figure nonetheless. Starting at the top, he has that amazing Boba Fett helmet, which they've done so well in the past. The colors look great, the shaping looks great, everything about it looks really good. Unfortunately, he doesn't have that new rangefinder piece where this figure would look a lot better at that as well. But then working our way down, he's a very detailed torso print with his nice braid, and that just looks amazing. And then his legs have so much detail with that nice toe printing, and they really, really nailed the detailing on this figure. Unfortunately, my only problem with this fig is that it doesn't have the new rangefinder, and they didn't give him a cape, which they've given to almost every other Boba Fett they've ever made, and I think that really makes the figure lose a lot of points. Taking his helmet off, we can see his face print underneath, which has a bunch of scars, and it looks really good, and it is very accurate to the movie. And then coming over to the side of the figure, you can see the beautiful arm prints that they gave him. I'm so glad that this is included on this figure. It levels him up so much, and it looks so good. It is extremely accurate to what we see in the movie. And if this figure wasn't missing his cape, he would be a perfect 10 out of 10. And then on the back side of him, you can see that beautiful sand green jetpack piece that matches with his helmet. And here's just a glimpse of what the Boba Fett would have looked like with his accessories. Oh, look at how good this figure looks. This is a perfect figure. Moving on to another perfect figure, we have Nien Nunb. He is exclusive to the set, and he does come with his 25th anniversary brick. Man, Lego did such a good job with this figure. That head mold is absolutely perfect. It has so much detail on it with his little hat, and they printed his eyes, which look amazing, and they gave him his nice vest with some leg printing. Then on the side of the figure, you can get a better look at that head mold, but no arm or leg printing. Moving on to the back of him, I actually forgot to mention this earlier, but his head mold is a hard plastic material. It is not the soft rubber that they use for like Kit Fisto, which I think is actually a great upgrade on the figure because the printing doesn't rub off. I feel like you get a lot of value in this set with two decently sized builds and a lot of figures to go with them, and I think that the two builds look great. But we're going to take a closer look at them, and we're going to take a better look at the Sarlacc pit first. Off rip, this thing looks gorgeous. It is extremely tiled off, and it has some beautiful angling pieces. I think they did a really good job of building the terrain up around the pit, which they actually haven't done before. And as we make our view around the Sarlacc pit, you can see that mostly everything is tiled except for the backside, but there's a reason for that, as it has some play features. Coming back over to the front of the Sarlacc pit, you can see that the mouth can actually open and close, which you just do with your fingers, and you can actually fit one whole figure inside of there, and this is what it looks like when the mouth is fully open. Now the next play feature on the Sarlacc pit is there's actually these two knobs on the back that you can turn, and they actually move the tentacles of the Sarlacc pit, which I think is a really great feature. And also from this angle, you can see the beautiful teeth pieces they put down there. Overall, I think this is a beautiful build. It is very tiled off and detailed, and it has a lot of nice functionality and play features, and I think it's anything that you could want from a Sarlacc pit. Now, moving on, we can take a look at the actual desert skiff. And man, this thing looks good. This is definitely the best looking Sarlacc pit that Lego has ever given us. And it's actually elevated on these clear stands that gives it the illusion that it's floating. Now, starting at the front of the skiff, you can see that it has some very nice shaping up here, and they use very good techniques to get this distinct shape that the skiff has. And this front piece can actually be angled up and down, which just helps you choose the desired angle that you want. And then moving back a little bit, you can see this beautiful design that they do with the bendy pieces. It looks amazing, and I like that the curve that they have it going on, and I think it looks great. And then on the top of the skiff, you can actually see it's relatively tiled off, which I think looks really good. And then it has this nice play feature of the plank that Luke can actually walk on like he does in the movie. And then moving a little bit further back, there's actually another play feature with this railing where it can actually open and close. And this represents the scene where Lando falls off the side of the skiff. And then you can just close it up when you're not using it, and you would have no idea that it's there. And then moving further back in the Skiff, we have my favorite part, the cockpit. This looks gorgeous. They have beautiful shaping in this, beautiful detailing for like the little control pad area. And man, it looks beautiful. There's even a place for the minifig to stand. Unfortunately though, they didn't give you a figure in this set to pilot it, which is a big loss because you have no one to pilot the Skiff. And I know that they want you to combine it with the sail barge and take the figs from there, but it just does kind of suck that you can have no one flying it unless you pay $500. Now moving on, we have these like two propellers on the side of the Skiff, which can actually be angled up and down to however you want them. Personally, I like mine how they come on the box, but it's still really cool the amount of articulation that you can give on these. And they use a really nice piece with the Ninjago hat piece to add more detail. And moving on to one of the best looking parts of the Skiff, the engines. These look amazing. They did such a good job, and there's surprisingly a lot of detail for how small they are. But they're actually really cool, and they can all be angled in different directions, and I just think they did a great job, especially with the shaping on this back area. It just looks great. And there you have it, the entire Desert Skiff with Sarlacc Pit and all of its figures. I think overall this is an absolutely amazing set. I think $80 retail was a little bit overpriced, but I don't think it was horrible. And while I do think that this should have just came with the sail barge, it's nice that you can also just get your own playset. On top of that, I think that the figures are amazing. A couple flaws, but almost perfect. And I would highly, highly recommend picking up this set before it retires, especially for the sale price. Thank you so much for watching this video. There's going to be videos out every Monday and Friday, so please stay tuned.